There's a segment on the Sydney Grill team, the seventh tackle, in conjunction with 7 News, and Josh Massoud, their reporter, said this.
The insiders in the Blues tell me that when he was in that camp, he just happened to have a few beers. There were a few senior players and coaching staff sitting around a table, and the pecking order in the Blues was like you had to earn the right to be at that table and have a few beers. And Wade Graham in his first camp joined them, didn't do anything wrong, didn't go out of line, didn't get out of control, but he didn't, I suppose, toe the line like the other rookies and young players did who went straight to bed and I suppose, did the right thing in inverted commas. So I'm told that's why Wade Graham was a little on the outer for game one.
That sounds bizarre, Gal.
Yeah, it is. To me, it does too. I mean,
but there's so much detail there.
Yeah, well, Wade wasn't in camp last year, so he must be talking about 2 years ago. And look, Wade's a social guy. If someone's there having a beer on the first night in camp, and Wade's there, he may well have had a beer. You know, and as far as the pecking order goes, I don't believe that, and I don't buy into that, because when you go into an Origin team, yeah, sure, there's blokes who've been there and done it before and senior players, but one thing Laurie wants is everyone on the same page and everyone feeling comfortable and happy to be there. So I imagine Laurie would have absolutely loved a debutant or a new bloke to sit there with a few senior players and have a beer.
Players in the past
if indeed it even happened.
Anthony Watmo basically was removed from Origin for years because of a bit of carry-on in camp. He eventually revealed on this show there were still knocks involved, but, behaviour in camp apparently does have some currency. So it does seem a bit strange if Josh is saying that he did nothing wrong, basically just sat down at a table. It seems surely you can't hold a bloke out for that.
No, look, I've been involved in, obviously, a lot of camps with Laurie, and I've been on tour with Laurie. Laurie is old school. He's a bit like Kevy Walters, mate. He loves the boys sitting down having one or two beers and having a bit of a chat. And even for those younger players, as Gal said, mate, Laurie would have loved him to sit there and have one or two beers. And then, mate, because you're telling a few stories and it's a bit old school, and Wade gets to feel sort of, he's in that inner sanctum, he's close, but he's not there yet.
He gets to feel a part of it.
Exactly.
I remember my first Origin. I walked into a side that had just won on the back of 3 series.
Yeah.
They didn't do things like this because they were so good and they knew each other so well. I felt like such an outsider. I didn't know what to do. I roomed with Steve Menzies. I don't think I left my room.
Yeah.
I just sat there because I couldn't get in and relate to these guys because they'd been a team for so many years. So for a bloke like Wade to come in and do something like that, I applaud it. And I think it's great. And as I said, as you said, Laurie would have absolutely loved it. And I highly doubt whether that's the reason he wasn't picked for game one. I think the reason he wasn't picked for game one is because he had a bloke called Boyd Cordner in front of him, who picked up our player's player.
Who was your best player?
Yeah. Our best player on the night. Now, Boyd's out, and that's what players need sometimes. Players need an injury to get an opportunity to show how good they can be, and that opportunity's there now for Wade. He got a good opportunity Monday night. Look, the game he plays on Monday night's not going to have a bearing on whether he makes his Origin side or not. So he's done everything he can to date to make this side. And if Laurie wants a genuine left edge back row to replace Boyd, well then Wade is there's an opportunity for him to be there.
So, Gal, let me ask you this. Like, I know Tyson Frizzell was 18 men, but he prefers to play on the right side. But, with back rows, and I don't like wingers and that, and centres, there's a preference. Could he play both sides if need be? Or you reckon, because Wade's got the silky touch?
I think if you ask Tyson Frizzell, there's no doubt he'd say, like that bloke's been chomping at the bit for a couple of years, and he's just... I actually feel sorry for him. He's been so close, but he just hasn't been able to quite crack it because the blokes in front of him, you can't knock the fact that they're there either.
Yeah, because Wade's been involved for a few years now.
Wade was 18 a couple of years ago. He's been around for a long time, and he has got that beautiful ball skills. He's a former 5'8", former halfback. He's got a left foot kick as well. He's got a big boot on him. He can set tries up. He can defend well. So... look, he's a mate of mine. He's a teammate of mine, and I hope he gets the opportunity. But
so we are thinking maybe that story's not on the money.
I personally, in my opinion, I don't think it's on the money. No.
Okay.